Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project once again, and we're here with a totally different segment that we had stopped a long time ago, and that I am trying my best right now to configure properly. So here we are with breakfast for the day, and we won't be doing this very often in this location. I just want to capture it one last time before we move away from this area, because it's really a legacy formatted stream. And what I mean by legacy is this is actually how I used to do my live streams. Bear with the camera shaking and everything, please. Sorry about that. This is how I used to do the streams actually when I was like just starting in like 2017, and it was in this kitchen next to all this food here, and I basically captured my breakfast. And it wasn't always breakfast. Sometimes there was other material stuff that I would cover, like inventory from clothing, equipment, furniture, gifts I was given, stuff like that. You know, the usual kind of boring content that I usually have. And on occasion, I would also have the opportunity to capture myself. So, you know, I would turn to the side here. You can just see my chest area here. I don't know how much you can see. I'm pretty sure you only see up like about my chin height, which is pretty much in line with how I used to be. I used to be able to show my face a little bit more comfortably too, but it was very rare. So, I mean, that's some stuff there. I mean, this stream here is kind of like the beginning of trying to make things easier. So a review of the previous live stream, we talked about making things smoother to start, right? We want to remove as many of the obstacles we can that get in the way of us actually getting stuff done. That's just one of many things we need to do, and it's very specific to what I want to do, to each specific task, right? It's specific to each niche or domain or each activity that we're performing. In this case, it's I just woke up today, and once again, I didn't have the stream ready for fitness. Things got in the way. There are other priorities, other obstacles as well. But I should have been able to at least start this live stream for the breakfast, and so I wasn't able to get that done. I didn't have it ready, so once again, I wasn't ready to stream food, and I should have been. I should have been. So what we have here are, let's just cover a little bit. Well, actually, before we cover the oatmeal, although that is what's in the stream, I want to mention up here on the side, on Excel, several important points. Let's try not to, I know I have a tendency to make things very wordy. I'm going to try to cut it down a bit. I know it'll take practice. But on the left-hand side, you see a link to what is a notepad document, actually. And so I now have not only an Excel file, but also a notepad file on the left-hand side, because they both serve very potentially different purposes. They both do a good job of listing, but I figured notepad is a lot cleaner, the interface to show on stream. In addition to that, we also have, so there's a OneDrive link to that, and you guys can't really reach that, I don't believe. But this one is particularly, I believe, notes for the USANA Business Convention, so the Health Research Business Convention, one of the live streams. So I took notes, and you'll see that in a moment, after I remove the Excel document. Also in the Excel document is, you can see a link to a start something new campaign by the same business, USANA Health Sciences, which is a research and nutritional supplementation company, direct selling company as well. And once again, I actually found a campaign, believe it or not. Usually I don't really sync well or rhyme well with the campaigns that USANA runs, so I don't really participate. But this one is actually basically a lot like the Ahn Rho Project, focusing on self-care and self-improvement and fitness, health, finance, and business, and it's very good self-improvement marketing campaign that actually produces useful, productive results for people who participate in it, regardless of whether you are a client, customer, or or an associate of or staff or just totally random. It doesn't matter who does it. This is actually something that is just generally like good. It's just good and efficient and productive for any human being on the planet to work on themselves, which is basically what the whole Ahn project is. And I can sync them up, so it's very interesting because they have even some templates and instructions on how to do that. So I'm very interested. I want to get engaged in that. Also in the Excel file, if I scroll down, which you can't see because it's further up. No, it's further down. Sorry, not further up. Why can't I remove it? Right. So even if I move it, I can't really get rid of it. It's just too far down. But just believe me when I say that there are certain things that I covered here. For example, I'm going to remove that, and you see underneath is the notepad document I referred to. So here is some of the notes. So line 1 through to 10, I copied from Excel, pasted onto Notepad here. And so you can see, let me read some: intelligent cell signaling ad, mood product advert. We also have a Yuri and Dan. Yuri is the Olympic figure skating champion for South Korea, and Dan Masuga is the executive VP, I believe, of marketing at or communications, I think marketing at Uzana. So they were both hosting the event there, and they had some notes I wrote down. They were telling some jokes, just some very rough, not low priority notes right there. It's not very content heavy. But in addition to that, inside the Excel file, we had covered, I made some purchases today from like Wendy's, cost about $9. Gave most of it to my brother. It's like some chili cheese nachos, some what else? It's like fast food, chicken wrap, spicy chicken wrap. Loves those things, and that's because he's playing a game, live streaming it, and making lots of money. It's a lot of stress, a lot of hard work though, because coordinating everything is just taxing. And he has so many projects, and it's very anxiety-inducing. Needless to say, he's working on that, and I decided to, he updated me saying that there's a new update called Raids 3, so I bought him a bunch of food, and he paid for it actually too. So he just wanted me to go out there and get the food for him, and then he'd pay. And I ended up getting him a variety of McDonald's, like burger, the $1 ice deal, some Nestea. Apparently likes that. Also got him some not so healthy deep fried foods, but like some dim sum as well. So siumai to my hakao and that kind of stuff. And I gave it to him because he's going to be working. He's very busy on his business. And then as well, in addition to that, there was also, like I said, the Wendy's. So I gave it all to him. It cost about like $20. He gave me 20 and just gave that. So there's a purchase on that Excel document, and I put it all there. In addition to all of that, we also went and got some groceries today. And I took a note of that, about maybe $10 of groceries on No Frills. Bananas, also some snacks, which you see here, not so healthy. These it's like these wafer things right here, like hazelnut. And gave one of these rolls to one of my guardians because they really liked it, and it's affordable, and we always are about being frugal and very conservatively financially conservative. So there's some stuff there. And then drop by the library as well. So there's a bunch of stuff that happened throughout the day, especially at the library. Some testing of the antivirus, learning about what methods I can do, and this I should put inside the Excel stream or the notepad document, another notepad document that I could show on camera. But basically that should list all the things I cover on stream so that I can review them and then work on them, almost like a project manager. Being broadcast live, and you guys can join me if you have any things that you want to do as well that are in line with what we're doing here. So we're all working towards certain common goals together, or even different goals together, and it's kind of like a building community where we're all just improving ourselves. But needless to say, one of the things that I did want to add on an Excel document is that I was testing. I went to the public library in my city, and I wanted to figure out if I could use their public Wi-Fi to do live streams, and what are the risks associated with it, because it is an unsecured network. And it's a pretty, I expected it would be very risky, and that there are a lot of potential malware, fraud, scammy sort of risks And so I needed to figure out, I went to the library to, yes, plug in my laptop and my old laptop and run a virus scan and all that kind of stuff, as well as like a device SFC scan, so system file checker from Windows. But also I needed to do some research on whether or not I could live stream safely, and if so, how do I do it on a public, most likely unsecured Wi-Fi network. And I learned a lot about, like, how VPNs, of course, scramble the data and stuff like that. I didn't think that VPNs could really do the trick, though. I wasn't sure if that was the another solution was to use HTTPS, which isn't really relevant in the case of live streaming, of course. So, I mean, it seems like the only method I have is like a VPN, which is a very, it's not a very sophisticated thing to do. So I felt that, it's questionable whether or not I would be able to work through and apply that idea at the workplace, at the library. It's possible I may be able to stream. I might try and test it out. It's going to be an experiment, but I'm not sure if that can actually work out. So in addition to that, we also have something else regarding, right, coming back. There's something interesting here having to do with right, coming back home, and then I did fitness and stuff like that. I went to sleep. There's a fax machine that I gave over to, that was gifted to me from one of my guardians, and I passed it over to my biological mother because she says she needed to file for some sort of insurance claim to take care of her health. They're asking for papers, and that's pretty generally what happens. They kind of hassle you for a lot of stuff, but reasonably so. So she needs a fax, and instead of in the future having to constantly go out and find a way to fax machines, so even the library I don't think has a fax machine. They have a scanner but not a fax. So I actually got a gift from one of my old colleagues back in the previous company I just left not too long ago, and it was an old fax machine, probably like the 1990s sort of fax machine. And I said, maybe we'll set it up since I'm not using it. So that's something that I took over and put in her room, as well as some rolls, some like hazelnut coconut rolls as a gift. But the fax machine is really something that might actually make a difference to her quality of life, and she can use that maybe to, send documents to whatever organization she needs to, any sort of insurance company. Now, I think there's more to cover, but I don't really know if I can. Let's see. Well, there is always more, right? There's always more, but I don't want the stream to go on forever, so I'm just going to turn on to the side here and finish my breakfast. So you see here we have this kind of like, this petri dish looking like thing, this little tray of walnuts. And these walnuts are soaking in what was warm water, warm tap water. And the reason for that being is that the water is for, So I was learning about walnuts, and even nuts in general should be soaked. I didn't know about that. You soak in water so that it sort of extracts and leaches out all the tannins, which are tannins, as well as phyto something. It's like a phytotoxin, as well as other certain types of enzymes and proteins that cling on to minerals such as calcium, zinc, iron, and nuts are filled with lots of nutrients. It's a very nutrient-rich source of food. It's a food that's rich in nutrients. Sorry. And so what is supposed to be done, because if you actually eat raw nuts, like walnuts for example, they just end up binding all of the minerals, and it goes in one and it goes with the other. You just shit it all out, or some of it out. So it really hinders the ability for you to receive the nutrients that you want from a nut. And so it's soaking here, and there's something that looks like it's been soaking for almost about 55 minutes now. they say that the minimum is at least 20 minutes, so I'm very glad to say that, that's more than enough time. The water is obviously filled with the phytotoxins and the tannins. It's not really toxin, I don't believe, but it is something that's not beneficial for your body, in terms of absorption anyways. I'm sure they have certain benefits if you were able to take them in alone, but in terms of digestion, they actually absorb the minerals, and you want the minerals in your body. So I'm supposed to dump the water out and then put these soaked walnuts inside this oatmeal here, okay? Which is made with a bunch of stuff. Well, you can barely see it because I finished most of it. Okay, so what's inside the oatmeal? Before I do that though, I do want to say that there's some Usana tablets here, as well as over here, that I want to finish. So every time I have a meal, I will take the supplements, right? So we have intelligence on the side here, which I just showed, the core minerals and core antioxidants, as well as the magna-calci and procosa for the joints. There are others involved, but generally having oatmeal is a very small, it's not as protein heavy, so until I eat the walnuts, only after I eat the walnuts will I take the supplements, because they have protein and that increases absorption. Yeah. So that's that, I think, So what's inside the oatmeal? We'll cover that in a second. Let me finish it. First, let me just dump out the water and add the walnuts into the oatmeal. So bear with me for maybe about 45 seconds-ish to a minute. And you can see, of course, that the water is brown. It's brown from all the phytoproteins and the tannins. So the dish is clean now, and here are the nuts. So I'll just dump it in. Alright, so those are the nuts inside now, and once I eat some of the walnuts, I will finally be able to take the supplements. And then we'll be closer to ending the stream than we've been in a while. After that, the plan is to go upstairs and then help my guardian set up the fax machine. So here's the walnuts inside the oatmeal, and we'll run through the ingredients just now once I'm taking a bite. Not bad. So the texture of the nuts is, of course, when they're soaked, they're far less bitter, because the phytoproteins, phytotannins, I believe, have been removed. I think it's called alpha toxin, I'm not sure. That might be a lot more dangerous. But it has, first of all, the bitterness is gone. This pungent kind of dryness, the dryness and bitterness is gone, and then it tastes more bittery. It tastes more buttery. Sorry, that's kind of a contradiction. It was bitter then bitter now. No, it was bitter and dry before, and now it's kind of like buttery and creamy. It's got that umami flavor to it as well. At this point, I'm going to take the nutrients. I'm going to take the intelligence tablets right here. All right, pretty good. So what's in the oatmeal? The oatmeal also has so aside from oatmeal, right, we have it's like quick oats, I believe, or 1 minute oats. I believe 1 minute oats. So you have 1 minute oats. Also the walnuts, obviously, but inside you saw like it was a mixture of other stuff. So there were bananas, so banana, walnut, milk, boiling water, and then we had a bunch of spices. So we added ginger powder, ginger powder, cinnamon. It's just like a little dash of cinnamon, very little because of the potential toxic effects of cinnamon. There's a certain compound inside, I believe. It's not very good for the liver, but a little bit is all right because of hormesis, I believe. A little bit of a really bad thing can be really good. Strengthens your body by sort of desensitizing it. But anyways, cinnamon, ground ginger, basil leaves, and something else like Fibergy, which is from Yuzan as well, Nutrimeal, which is also from Yuzan as well, and also chia seeds and flax seeds. So it's a mixture of at least like 15, maybe about 12 to 15 different ingredients. Once again, I apologize if the volume's a little low. I'm not going to speak too loudly because, once again, it's a shared household. There's the landlord living like literally just 10 meters away from where I am right now. The door's closed and all, but it's nighttime, so I want to be a little bit respectful of the fact that they're sleeping. So, it's going to be a bit quiet. Now, in addition to all that, turns out more has happened. And while I was eating oatmeal, or my breakfast after the fitness regime, my biological father came back and we had a little talk and exchange about some nice snacks and stuff like that, like this hazelnut wafer roll. But a main thing he talked about that's really interesting is, so one of my cousins flew over to a certain country in the third world, and renowned for a certain sport, athletic sport, such as like, tall jumping, cross country running, that kind of stuff. And they do all sorts of like 3-hour runs in a groups of people, of like 105 people. And there are very good runners, they're very good long distance marathon runners, and so is frankly my cousin, and he's flown over there. And so one day, in an area like that, it is a third world country, got pickpocketed, and so the phone was taken. Luckily enough, he knows what to do. I'm not going to go into detail here because I don't want to. Obviously, I'm keeping this all very vague. This is all very vague. You can't identify anybody here because I'm keeping it so vague. But that's the point, right? Confidentiality. The point is, afterwards, he cleared all the data, And then he has a new phone now from my biological father, since they share the same plan bundle. And so he got a phone and he said he would pay for it. And it's a very, very powerful, storage heavy, new expensive phone. Wow. And he can afford it now. He's not like when we were kids. I've known my cousin here and I love him so much because like in a lot of ways, we have very similar challenges and successes in life. And I've always liked spending time with him. And I will continue to, and I hope we can be a productive part of each other's lives, even as we go into adulthood, and we're past adulthood now, right? So when it comes to finances, relationships, decision making, careers, and so on and so forth, to be able to support each other in whatever way we can towards each other's goals. And so my cousin, he's got a new phone now, and he's making a lot of money. And it's this time it's not like a free phone that we used to always, when we were kids, we're like, oh, we gotta save money here and there. The phone can't cost more than like say $50 or so. This time it's like $1,000 phone, and it's from his career, which is making bank. So very proud of him for that. And that's something else that came in after. That was literally like about 20 minutes ago. I got that news. So I'm gonna finish this. Okay. Now, before we go upstairs, which we are going to do, I'm afraid you're going to have to bear with me, and this stream will go silent, or not silent, but you hear a lot of background noise for at least about 10 minutes. And that's because I'm going to, first of all, wash the dish, rinse it out, take whatever I can out of it and eat it, drink it down. But then I'm going to wash the dish, and then I have to fill it up with all the ingredients. So oatmeal, fiber, flax seeds, chia seeds, cinnamon, basil, maybe oregano, as well as some pieces of, well, not walnuts because they have to be soaked first, but oatmeal and Nutrimeal and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna have to prepare the breakfast before that goes on, okay? And then I'll come back, right? But that will be at least 10 minutes, so you'll have to wait. And yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and just stay tuned, okay? I mean, I can calm it over once in a while. So I'm gonna take this bowl right now, fill it with water, a little bit. So here it's all washed. Just gonna wipe my hands. And I also took the Procosa and the Magna Cal D, so which are again more the supplements. Pat my hands dry. Also try to dry the spoon, and I'm gonna move it to the side. Now I'm gonna go to a different side of the kitchen, and you'll be able to follow me through later on, because I'm gonna show you where everything is. Because this is probably the last live stream I'm gonna do down here for a long time. Alright, so things must be brighter now by quite some bit, and I'm going to show you what's just happened. Okay, move the clamp. So I'm going to show you what the format was of my previous line. Boom. Alright, there we go. So this is how I used to do the live streams, right? Here's the light for the stove. Okay. Turn that off, really, we don't need it now. Or maybe we do later on. Here is a clamp, and here's the chair. Now, most of this stuff, including the stove and the ventilation, as well as the sink, this is all from the landlord, so it's not stuff that is mine. I don't claim ownership. And I'm gonna take the clamp off, which is mine, leave it here, and move this around. And so in the backdrop, we actually have this area, which is where I used to do live streams. If you turn to the side here, this is where my stuff is. So I'm gonna put the chair back. Once again, not mine. So, all right, so move this to the side. So this is where most of my stuff is. It's just in this block right there. This area, region H, I call it. So the square region. I'll give you an aerial view. Just kind of move these stuff to the side. This stuff belongs to another tenant, my brother and my guardians. So up here, just all of this stuff is mine. Even the blender's not mine. Just a paper towel back here. So that's that. And so is this bowl. It's mine as well. And I use this to cover. So you can see here there's walnuts, right? Chia seeds, flax seeds, they use on a Fibergy powder, as well as use on a pumpkin spice. We have Great Value 1 Minute Oats. We have selection ground cumin, ground ginger from Great Value, ground nutmeg, black pepper, ground ginger, you name it. And there's also like thyme and rosemary. Turn for the back here. So I would take this bowl. That's the only other thing that's mine. I'd move it over there after it dries, and that's probably going to be later on tonight, because I can see that's still wet. And what I would do is, and after this, I'm going to turn off the lights once again. Sleeping. I would just fill up. Say this is the bowl. I would fill up with oatmeal, and then put like a light layer of oatmeal to base. Then put chia seeds, flax seeds, a little bit, not too much, because constipation can happen if you eat too much like fat and protein. And then fill it with some ginger powder, and a little bit of cinnamon. This is not good cinnamon. It's a cinnamon that's filled with it's not a well refined cinnamon. It still has some of that toxin inside it. Then we also fill up with some Fibergy, so puts a layer of whiteness, blanchness, so that I can see how much I'm adding in portions. Add some basil, add some more of something else too, like nutmeg. Can't remember what. And then we're done. So, and then we put another layer of oatmeal on top, and then it's all done. Now, right now, I received a gift from a friend of mine, his wife. We had dinner a while ago, me and my friend and his wife and brother-in-law, no, her friend as well. So the 4 of us, and she gave a lot of gifts, like Korean snack foods, and that's seaweed here. So crispy, deep fried seaweed. I know it sounds weird, but that's the kind of food they have. They also have some snacks here that they gave me. This is the only one remaining, but there's some cakes and so on, crackers and cookies and so on and so forth, all in a bag, and I'm very grateful and thankful to them, to my buddy and his wife and the in-laws. So maybe I'll take this upstairs. It doesn't belong here anymore. Okay, so that's it. Let's go out here. Lights off. And I used to do the live streams here. Once again, you can see that the curtain's a little bit moved to the right because I like to have a little bit of resembling freedom. Turn it off. So that's it. Alright, so this is the last time we're ever going to do a live stream here. We're not, because obviously this is not my area. It's a shared area, and more importantly, none of the stuff here is really my stuff. I just feel awkward about doing that. I only did it back then in 2017 because I had like actually good relations with the landlord, which is not true anymore. But more importantly, even back then, regardless of relations, it was just, you know, I had to do it. I had so much that my life was a lot less organized back then. You know, you date back 5-6 years ago, you're just a different person. A lot of things are not resolved, and I needed it then. I don't really need it now. Now this bowl will come back maybe about an hour later, and I'll probably fill up with stuff with oatmeal, and we'll have breakfast ready for tomorrow. So the whole point of this is to have the ingredients inside the bowl, so that when we come here in the morning or at night, really, tomorrow night, we'll come and we'll have all the ingredients ready, and all we have to do is pour boiling water and some like almond milk or some, you know, just dairy milk inside, and just as well as some like protein shake mix like Ensure, put it in the microwave, and then we're done. So we just fill it with liquids, boiling liquids, and then we just microwave it, and we don't have to bother with all the pouring of the ingredients, because that actually is something we should do when we have the energy to do something productive, which is like a time like now, not waking up in the morning and then thinking, oh, we had to do all this stuff just to make breakfast. That is a deterrent, and that's what I'm talking about when I say make things easy for yourself. Yep, that's that. So let's go upstairs, and I want to do, I want to go upstairs. I don't know if we're going to continue this stream. It's about 40 minutes in. We may or may not want to see the earnings, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay. We'll go. Let's go. Hold on, one more thing. One last thing before we leave, actually. So you may see that, that there's a water bottle here, right? One last thing I have to mention that I do borrow from the landlords too often is like their water boiler here. And again, trying to not depend on anyone like that. The only thing I have down here that's mine on the counter is that Sunlight dishwasher. Everything else is not mine. So I typically use the tap water, which I'm fine with, but then I also put a little dash of boiling water inside to mix up the temperature. So it goes from here, yeah, and it goes inside here. That's it. Yeah, and that's about it. So let's get out of here. Let's go upstairs. It takes about 20 seconds. What I've decided to do is I'm going to leave the stream running, and that's because I want to actually return and cover a little bit of conversation as to what was covered, because I want to go right now and actually have to get some stuff. So you guys just enjoy the elevator music for now, I guess, and that's about it. And no to the bots. Okay, let me sort this out. I should mention the clamp, by the way. It's very this is a very broken clamp. It's like twisting and turning all sorts of directions. It's a cheap one from Dollarama, costs like $4. That's probably why. But it's okay as long as I leverage it. That's why it's all coiled up. I can sort of use these as a leverage by putting them in contact with the edge of the table. It's bound to. So let's see. What should you take a look at? It's a little fighter right here. Well, here's where the clamp goes, by the way, typically. Clamp it down here next to the table, which I can't do right now. I'm going to stick this on the ring clamp. So the ring clamp's over here. I decided to move the chair, by the way, over here next to the bed. So here's the bed now, and the chair, like I said, this chair used to be behind me next to the standing desk, the office desk, standing desk compartment. I moved up the chair to here next to the bed, even though I know that I'm going to do a torso exercise every other morning or so, or maybe every morning, maybe 2 to 5 ratio, a 5 to 7 ratio, so 5 days out of 7 a week. I'll just have to move this. I'll just shift it down. It's not a whole lot of work. I'll just pull it down, and then my arm can fit behind here as I do the back stretch. Stretch my arms around the back, and that should be fine. And then the ring light's here now, so it's not here instead. I felt it was too crowded. Again, if I'm going to do some office work standing up, I want to be able to pace back and forth to think. Creative juices, also good for my body. I need some room here then, that means. Okay, we'll lift the laptop up. I mean, we're going to use the laptop soon anyways. I noticed also that because of the ergonomics and the height adjustment, the laptop screen has to go on a more obtuse angle, like 180 degrees. So you can see it on the side, sort of like this, 180 degrees, further than the typical 90 degrees. Than the typical 100 degrees I have. I had to move another extra 20, because otherwise I'm actually quite tall, it seems, for this. And the standing desk can go higher, but I'm probably not going to do that because I want to be able to type at elbow height, right? So my arms kind of like maybe about 75 degrees right now when I'm typing, and I don't want to go any higher. So that's how it is. Now let's put this clamp on this ring light, this phone onto this ring clamp right now. Alright, nice. So I guess I could face you towards this way. Before I do that, I want to pull you up for a second, I want to point out this. Those Korean noodles are exactly also from my buddy and his wife, and these are the Wendy's that I was talking about. Inside like some chili cheese nachos. I've shredded the receipts and put inside there to toss away. And yeah, the Wendy's was most two, like the burger and the wrap my brother took. I just mentioned the Korean food because like that's the kind of stuff that I got from my buddy and his wife. And then over here on the right hand side, there's like food that we bought today from No Frills. So like Muruku Indian snack food, deep fried, not good for you, but you know, it is what it is. And then I'll move you back here for a moment. I want to capture some monetary reasons. Dentistry. So we have to see the dentist. And so down here, you see there's about, you don't know how much that is, but that's $100 and something and in cash. And that's because my dentist only accepts, I believe, either MasterCard or American Express or Visa, one of those. And unfortunately, I shredded one of my cards, one of my credit cards, that is supposed to be an alternative to the other. So let's say I have American Express. I shredded that because I don't use it often, so that I could use the Visa card, which let's say I use that very often. And then the dentist only accepts, say, American Express, so I have an issue now. Now I either use a debit card or I use cash. So there's a little predicament there. And like I said, I'm going to have this appointment over the weekend. Like, I'm not going to say which day, no specific times because privacy, but you get the idea. So that's a logistical thing I have to talk about regarding healthcare. And now I'm going to do, so I'm going to go over and see if I can help my guardians with something, the fax machine. And that's it. So you guys just enjoy the view. And I'll be back in about maybe 20 minutes. Who knows? I mean, who really knows? I mean, what's a good sight here to see? The laundry basket, not the most exciting thing to look at. Yeah, whatever. Leave it like that. Yeah, but then you can see when you come in. Just turn this side there. Still self-conscious about this stuff, huh? We're not gonna go away with some concerted effort. Alright, so we'll see you in about 20 minutes. Alright guys, welcome back. What the hell do I see here? Spam bots. Ay, it's all bots here, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So it was the middle of the night. I just took some of this. So on the right hand side you have proglucamine, and on the left hand side you have proflavanol. And one proflavanol is the grapeseed extract, and proglucamine is the reishi fungi extract. And one is for immune system, and the other is for my cardiovascular system. Both from Busan Health Sciences, courtesy of Dr. Wernst. And the one with proglucamine actually has the intelligence patent, so it's interesting. Okay. Let me sit down for a moment. Alright, so it's pretty nice. I like this setup. So right now, because the chair is because of where the chair is, I can actually see what is being live streamed right now. And oh, very nice. So this Korean food, all this stuff here is also from my this stuff is from my buddy and his wife, and I want to take a scan of this and see, well, you know, just get a picture of a gift item that I received from them in terms of food. So roasted seaweed, and the ingredients at the back too. So lots of, I noticed it was very heavy on oil, had a lot of oil, also a lot of salt, so probably not very healthy, but it was nice to try it out and to compare this with Japanese type seaweed. Needless to say, I liked it, but I could tell why my guys didn't like it too much. They liked it, but it was not very healthy. And so, I mean, I'll eat this myself. And so this we have here, it's called a guangcheong, however you want to call it. And so it seems to be, say, sponsored by Samsung or something like that. And yeah, we'll scan it and then save it, and most likely I'll toss out this plastic portion as garbage. Right? I don't really need that. And we'll be done. With that being said, though, I'm not sure if there's anything else that I want to cover on stream, except that me and my biological father ate downstairs and we were talking about it as well. My mother, she tried as well too. And then sampled some snacks, and then it's time to go to sleep because you know, she's got insurance to deal with, he's got work to go to tomorrow, and I'm mostly in training and running this project and business. So it's a lot of stuff going on. And then we have a wedding on the weekend. I gotta see the dentist on the weekend. I'm gonna see probably my cousin. He comes back from a third world country on the weekend. Yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff. And yeah, and you know, fitness, getting on track. I feel a lot better now. So you know, just like the bot on the left hand side here keeps referring to, it's like thumbs up, fire emoji. That's how I'm feeling. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty lit. So yeah, that's me using some Gen Z term like litty dab type stuff. Very poor attempt at that. I'm gonna end the live stream and just get to work. I don't see any reason for me to continue running the live stream forever, ever and ever. Maybe if we start working on the logistics, we'll start streaming that portion. So I'll see you guys in the next live stream, whatever that is. And till then, peace out. This is Ahn Rho signing out. This is the Ahn Rho Project. As usual, take care of your loved ones and yourself, and because you can't take care of anyone else unless you take care of yourself first. Become a strong, disciplined, responsible individual, and so on and so forth. And I hope to catch you guys all in the next one. Take care.